Hi everybody, it's Captain Foley here today. We got another Star Trek movie review to do, and we are going to be doing Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country. One of my favorites. I also love the cover art on there. The Enterprise getting hooked apart. Well, apparently D7 is firing, but anyway, it looks cool. I love that shot of the Enterprise. Very cool, very cool. So, without any further ado, let's get this thing rolling. So like I said, this is one of my favorites. However, it does have a few issues, a few errors that you got to point out. Because I can't, overlook obvious things. And this one has a few obvious errors that really need to be addressed, and we will get to those. So, yeah. Here we go. First off, this one's directed by Nicholas Meyer, who is the same director that did Star Trek 2. Very good Star Trek director. Very good at naval battle kind of situations. Hence, Star Trek 2's like submarine type battle. And then Star Trek 6, of course, we have battle as well. And it's the same thing. Listening for the ship that can fire while cloaked. Things gotta have a tailpipe, so we focus in on the exhaust fumes. Sort of the same deal as a submarine type deal. Nicholas Meyer is big into that, so. Anyway, so here's the main screen, main menu, which is of course the Klingon courtroom. Pretty cool. Just get right down to the play in here. Alright, and we are off. So, welcome back, Trekkies. We've got a whole new movie review for you guys now, and like I said, I'm going to be doing all of them. I just got to get around to having the time to do them, so they will be coming slowly but surely, and we will get all of them done, including your favorites, whichever one those may be. I will even do the JJ ones, if I can survive through them, but I will try. It is still Star Trek, and there are a few good points about it. JJ's not all that bad. This one, of course, is dedicated to Gene Roddenberry. So we got our credits here. It's really cool. I love the music in this one, and even the look of the the purple that fades to like the white. Beautiful. Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country. Hey guys, just a quick note I forgot to mention there. Gene Roddenberry saw the full screening of this movie and then died within 48 hours after seeing the full screening. So it was kind of a completion to his saga, the original cast. So he did get to see it in its entirety, and he then passed away 2 days later. That's why it's dedicated to him. So I'd just like to point that out. It's just a little interesting fact that I just recently found out, and I thought I'd share with you guys. So hope you enjoy the rest of the video. And of course, we start out this movie with the explosion of Praxis. Very cool explosion. I love the effects they used in this one. And Captain Sulu has his own ship.
21.6. Captain's log, USS Excelsior. Captain Sulu commanding. After 3 years, I've concluded my first assignment as master of this vessel, cataloging gaseous planetary anomalies in native quadrant. We're heading home under full.
Sounds like kind of a boring assignment. Instead of 5-year mission exploring undiscovered news sectors, they are stuck studying gaseous anomalies in Beta Quadrant. Look at his coffee cup. Falls off right near the table. Beltane! Crunchy. Alright, so watch where the teacup falls, or is shown to be. We're going to see in just a second. So it falls off, it's right beside the table. Now when you see it here, maybe I was in the way.
Don't tell me that was any meteor shock.
Negative, sir. Subspace shockwave originate.
It's going to rewind for a second because I think we missed something there. Yeah, the coffee cup is way the hell over here. Right there. It should be up here or there, but it's way down on the lower part of the bridge deck. So that's just a placement error. That's just really bad. That's like the moving blood spot on Kirk's uniform in Star Trek 2. Just one of those things that makes you go, the fuck were you thinking?
Location. It's Praxis, sir. It's a Klingon.
And of course, here we have there's Yeoman Janice Rand, who's no longer a yeoman, but she's serving on the Excelsior with Sulu.
Do you require assistance?
And of course, we have Admiral Cartwright over here, who's from Star Trek 4, and he's also played Sisko's dad in Deep Space Nine. But good old Admiral Cartwright, you think he's the good guy? And this moment here coming up where Spock makes a joke, only Nixon could go to China. It's an old Vulcan proverb. That's because of his sharing his culture with McCoy. He got some of McCoy's humor and some cross wires in there, so he's a little bit more apt to make those kind of comments, those kind of jokes. And it's very un-Spock-like, but it is now because he's got part of McCoy in there. So and we know about McCoy's irreverent humor.
Bill, are we talking about mothballing the Starfleet?
Well, I'm sure that our exploration and scientific programs would be unaffected, Captain, but
I must protest. To offer Klingons safe haven within Federation space is suicide. Klingons would become the alien trash of the
I
galaxy.
didn't know Admiral Cartwright was so close-minded.
We'd be defenseless before an aggressive species with a foothold on our territory. The opportunity here is to bring them to their knees. Then we'll be in a far...
I love the gold stripe on the Admiral's uniforms. I think it makes it look just sweet.
Captain Kirk,
The Klingons have never been trustworthy. I'm forced to agree with Admiral Cartwright. This is a terrifying idea.
It is imperative that we act now to support the Vulcan initiative. Lest more conservative elements persuade his empire that it is better to attempt a military solution and die fighting.
you, Captain Kirk, are to be our first olive branch.
We have volunteered to rendezvous with the Klingon vessel which is bringing Chancellor Gorkon to Earth.
I love this part.
And to
The whole
escort him safely
we
to Federation space.
volunteered.
Me? Well, there are Klingons who feel the same way about the peace treaty as yourself and Admiral Cartwright. But they'll think twice about attacking the Enterprise under your command.
I have personally vouched for you in this matter, Captain.
You have personally vouched.
You will extend to Chancellor Gorkon full
Kirk's kind of
diplomatic
pissed.
diplomacy.
I don't blame him.
Full ambassador would be better equipped.
If there's no further business, I wish you and your crew Godspeed. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I remind you, this meeting is classified.
I don't know what to congratulate you or not.
I wouldn't.
We volunteered.
There's an old Vulcan proverb. Only Nixon could go to China.
How could you vouch for me?
A lot of people have
Arrogant presumption.
pointed out that line that it's kind of, they give it static and it makes perfect sense knowing that McCoy held the Katra, and some of McCoy's consciousness and whatnot would have got transferred over to Spock during the procedure. So it just makes sense that he has that kind of sense of humor. Lieutenant Valera.
It's agreeable to see you again.
The lieutenant was the first
I believe she is also part Romulan, much like Saavik was. They were actually going to initially use Saavik in this role, but for some reason last minute they changed it so that it was a new character. I think it would have been cool to bring back Saavik and have her kind of betray the Federation, but at the same time I think that's why they didn't, because everybody likes Saavik, and if Saavik was a traitor, it's a lot easier to hate a new chick, so I think that's the main story behind that. And of course, we're going to have to watch the Enterprise leave space dock, because it's awesome. It's my favorite character, so you're forced to watch it. Ah.
You heard the order, Lieutenant.
I just love this movie. The Kirk gets his few little moments, and of course the scene we've seen twice before, but this part's cool. Of course, that's the Next Generation engine room. Did some set redressing for this movie.
Captain's log, star date 9522.
And Kim Cattrall, who plays Laris, she did a nude photo shoot on the bridge of the Enterprise, and Leonard Nimoy was so enraged he destroyed all the photos, so we don't get to see a naked Kim Cattrall on the bridge of the Enterprise, which would have been awesome. But curse you, Leonard Nimoy. I understand why you'd be upset, but seriously, Star Trek fans, you know that they would appreciate that.
Says this could be destroyed.
Of course, we have the Next Generation corridor outside there. Like I said, they did redress the ship. It looks very militaristic in this one, very submarine. You got fire extinguishers everywhere. This is obviously a Next Generation quarters. You can see the replicator where they've set dressed it so that it looks a little different. But I like the look of this ship, how it's militaristic looking almost. More so than even Star Trek, the motion picture in Star Trek 2. The fire extinguishers everywhere and whatnot. I think it's a little not futuristic in a way, but Nicholas Meyer threw those in. I don't know, I can see during wartime why they would have that, but during just, studying gaseous anomalies, peacetime, I don't know why they'd have all that equipment. But that being said, Starfleet's gone through a bunch of waves of like comfort and then utilitarian, and so it's all right, I guess. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about the Next Generation luxury cruiser look as opposed to this look, which is militaristic with the fire extinguishers everywhere? And then you go to the original series. It's kind of it's not militaristic at all, really. It's just kind of essential. The corridors are big. They're not tight corridors in the original series. There's no fire extinguishers everywhere, nothing like that. But you can tell it's not a luxury ship. It's not a cruise liner. So they kind of go in waves as far as that goes. They seem to be in their militaristic utilitarian stage right now. And so just leave your thoughts in the bottom. Let me know what you guys think about starship design. This again is one of my favorite Enterprises in this movie. Just everything about it, even the bridge. The bridge is amazing in this one. I love the bridge in this one. This is a cool scene also. Love seeing the D7 come in like that on the angle and then straighten out. It's beautiful. And pass right over the camera. Of course, the Chancellor here. He was the Earth hostage on Nimbus in Star Trek V, the movie previous to this. So again, Star Trek recycling its actors, awesome. But in a movie back to back, I don't know. I noticed it right away, and it's not a big deal, but it's kind of neat in its own way, in its own respect. I just want to point that out. Yeah, he's the Earth hostage from Star Trek V on Nimbus 3. One of my favorite scenes again. I get so excited with scenes of the Enterprise. Now this scene here is important.
They all look alike. What about that smell? You know on the top of the line models can even talk.
They all look alike. What about that smell? And then Burke says, you know that only the top of the line models can even talk. This goes back to my Star Trek 3 reference where the Klingon officers, the bridge crew, speak English so that their subordinates don't understand what they're talking about. The subordinates only speak Klingon. So that's what he's making a reference to, is only the top of the line models, being the officers, can speak English. Not a lot of people know that or caught that, but that's what that's in reference to. And I just thought I'd point that out for you guys. I'm going to rewind it so you can hear it again. But that's what that whole scene's about.
They all look alike. What about that smell? You know on the top of the line models can even talk.
Gentlemen have work.
You men have work.
Yes, ma'am.
Then stop to it.
She's a bitch.
Nation of all culture.
I love how this dinner's going because of the Romulan ale. It's a freaking disaster.
Or not to be? That is the question which preoccupies our people.
We need breathing room.
Earth, Hitler, 1938. I beg your pardon.
Yeah, I'd say I beg your pardon. It's a little harsh.
Well,
It seems we have a long way to go.
I see we have a long way to go.
And this whole scene with the pink Klingon blood, we've seen Klingon blood before. In the Next Generation, it's regular blood. So that's one thing that kind of annoys me about this movie, is that they make the Klingon blood pink. But yeah, I know they use that at the end of this movie to like, this is not Klingon blood. Just, or the guy that gets killed in disguise. But it's already been established that Klingon blood is not pink. Also, these phasers are some of my favorite phasers from Star Trek. I love the design of these ones. These ones I don't have a prop of. I would love to get one, but as of right now, I don't have it. But it's very cool. It looks almost like an Uzi, like a futuristic Uzi. So it's kind of neat.
It's very hard to make out.
And also, don't you think in a situation like this, should this happen, especially on a diplomatic mission, that they wouldn't be monitoring all the transports in and off the Enterprise, on and off the Enterprise, especially once this happened? Wouldn't one of Kirk's first orders been monitor the shuttle bay and monitor the transporter rooms? I don't want anybody getting off this ship, on or off this ship. I know he's got the Romulan ale brain, but it kind of, I don't know, it would have made more sense to me. This is where Spock puts beryllium patch on Kirk's back, right there. Some do it. There you see the beryllium patch. Now, if you notice, it's horizontal. It's horizontal on his back. There, it's vertical. This is, you know, Kirk's outfit. The mystery of the moving bloodstain. Apparently, Kirk's uniform moves things around on it, because you see it later, and it's like it's vertical, not horizontal. Sorry, it's vertical. And when Spock put it on, it was clearly the other direction and a little bit lower. So, and all through the first time watching this, I was going, "The hell is that on Kirk's back? Is that part of the uniform? Is that something new they've added?" So just notice that next time how he put it on. It was horizontal, and then by the time they transport over, Kirk doesn't know it's there, mind you, but it got vertical. And you don't think McCoy would have said something? McCoy doesn't even know it was there until later. And this part where McCoy says, "I don't even know its anatomy," that doesn't make sense to me. You would think that the Federation would have Klingon physiological reports on the Klingons. They've been at war for how long now? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense that they don't know what its anatomy is. You got a tricorder too. And this guy, I believe he's the same actor that played in Star Trek 4 as the Klingon that represented the Klingons at the trial. There we got Red from the 70s show as a Deltan president. As you know, the Deltans have the long goatee, the white hair. And this, his office is 10 forward, just redressed. It's got curtains over the windows. There's the bar. There's a Romulan who doesn't have the funky head ridges. This is how I prefer my Romulans, not like the Next Generation. Here's another evidence that it's 10 forward, the same wall decor. Love how they just redressed all the Next Generation sets to save money.
You must concur with my colleagues.
But you can't possibly believe that James Kirk assassinated the Chancellor of the High Council.
Mr. President, I don't know what to believe.
Just makes a creepy Romulan. I like him.
I'm waiting for your answer, sir.
This president is not above the law.
Of course, this character, he has been in Voyager. He was the one operating the time ship.
Starfleet Command is here from San Francisco.
Send it in.
Here's more evidence that it's 10 forward.
Mr. President? Mr. President?
Bill, Admiral Cartwright, please, please.
And of course, Colonel West here is Odo from Deep Space Nine.
President, we cannot allow Federation citizens to be abducted.
Yes, Admiral, but I'm constrained to observe interstellar law.
Sir, would you please take a look at this? Colonel West?
This part wasn't in the theatrical version, by the way. I love how they have an old flipboard and a laser pointer for a futuristic briefing.
We can go in, rescue the hostages, and get out in 24 hours with an acceptable rate of loss of manpower and equipment. We have the technology to...
Yes, yes. But suppose you precipitate a full-scale war.
And quite frankly,
Then, quite frankly, Mr. President, we can clean their chronometers.
Mr. President, they are vulnerable. There will never be a better time.
The longer we wait, the less accessible the hostages will be, sir.
Thank you, Admiral. I'll bear that in mind. Thank you, gentlemen. I believe that's all for now.
I like him as the president. He makes a good president.
Sir, those men literally saved this planet.
Yes, I know that. And now they're going to save it again
By standing trial.
by standing trial.
And here's a rolled out map of all the strategic defenses they have and how they would go about attacking. Why do we need maps and rolled up things in the future? This is more Nicholas Meyer trying to make it very militaristic and naval. But hey, what are you going to do? I would just use a big ass iPad.
Bitch killed your father.
It is an old story, sir.
They don't place the same value on life we do, sir. You know that. Take my word. He didn't
bloody tear. That's more inclusive, Mr. Scott. See, I have no tear ducts. Convenient line for this movie. However, in The Next Generation, we've seen Klingons cry. Klingons, or Worf's brother, cried. I forget the name of the episode, but yeah, he had tears. So to say Klingons don't have tear ducts, and they have pink blood in this movie, I don't know, I think this movie is an alternate dimension in itself. Kind of things that, little nitpicky things that bother me. Broken continuity that I just gotta point out. And I also think it's intensely stupid that Captain Archer's already been on trial here, and Captain Archer's already done time in the dilithium mines on Rurapente. By the way, this Colonel Worf is Worf's grandfather. Worf's grandfather was a lawyer. It's kind of cool that they have the translation devices to hold up to their ears, like the UN.
The Chancellor and his advisors, having been lulled into a false sense of security, how could these men be walking?
The judge just said, Colonel Worf, we are interested in facts, not theories. So, shouldn't he be shouldn't they say something about the son of Moog in his title? Or, I don't know how Klingon naming works per se, but I know that it's important. So, he's Colonel Worf, and he is Worf's grandfather. So, if anybody knows what the Klingon way of doing naming or whatever, that would be greatly appreciated if you could put it in the comments below for me. Thank you. And is it just me, or do these translation devices look like they were made by Batman? They look like a bat translator. Beryllium patch. Tell me the Klingons haven't noticed this. Tell me they haven't confiscated their insignias and stuff just because there might be some kind of weapon or whatever in there. In my experience with Star Trek, especially with the Next Generation and Voyager and Deep Space Nine, they always take the communication badges. How do they know that these aren't communication devices of some kind? How do they know? Why do they not recognize that the thing on the back of Kirk's jacket, the beryllium patch, doesn't belong there? They know what Starfleet uniforms look like. It seems a little odd. They'd probably know what beryllium patch is. So why haven't they taken that off of them? Just, I don't know. And I also have an issue with this. Beryllium patch in plain sight. McCoy's over here, behind him. Later, McCoy says they're not going to know where we are, and Kirk says, yes they will. Spock put a beryllium patch on my back. To which McCoy says, that cunning little Vulcan. That clever little Vulcan. How does McCoy not notice this on the back of his captain's uniform? It looks like a goddamn caterpillar. Like you have to be blind or just dumb. Look at it. Plain sight. And McCoy is back here looking... I don't know. I'd have noticed it. I noticed it right away when the first time I watched the movie. Just one of my pet peeves, man. Ugh. And here, Leonard Nimoy as Spock quotes Sherlock Holmes, saying that ancestor of mine always maintained that once you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
Ancestor of mine maintained that if you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
So apparently an ancestor of Spock is Sherlock Holmes. It's one of the most famous Sherlock Holmes quotes ever. Now, of course, we know Nicholas Meyer is a huge Sherlock Holmes fan and has directed many Sherlock Holmes movies. So that's why it was thrown in there. It could also be a throwback to him having part of McCoy's Kocher in his head. Just getting things confused as far as who said what, etc., etc. So I take that with a grain of salt. But it's interesting to point out nonetheless that Spock quotes Sherlock Holmes. That's awesome. And I just gotta rewind a second here. I just noticed something.
Surely the assassins being devoted from
This chick right here, swear to God, she's the one from Star Trek 3 that's on the Excelsior and on the Grissom. If that's so, she gets around, because now she's on the Enterprise. I don't just say that because I think all Asian chicks look alike, because that's not the case. But she sure looks like the same person. It's bugging me now. I just noticed it. And this place, the aliens in it, looks like the Mos Eisley Cantina from Star Wars. You never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. Just look at some of these aliens you'll see in a second. They look very Star Wars-esque. This guy. The other one's not so much. But that one guy in particular, he kind of looks like one. A lot of these guys look human. Now watch McCoy. McCoy says something, but his lips don't move.
The universal translator's been confiscated. Sorry?
Watch. See, there his lips moved. Here they didn't. He starts saying that he's definitely on about something, Jim. Watch. That's always bugged me too. That's just bad editing. This scene's always kind of bugged me too.
Like this?
First of all, it's really unsafe. Second of all, wouldn't it have vaporized the dough or whatever was in there?
As you know, Commander Chekhov, no one can fire.
It's just kind of a neat little gimmicky trick that that's still there with the whisk in it. But I don't think that would have exactly happened like that. And for her to just randomly fire without warning anybody, that's just sketchy. She deserves to have some kind of disciplinary action taken against her, I think. What do you guys think? One of the best cameo appearances in a Star Trek anything. Christian Slater.
What? Apparently, they're refusing to allow a signal to
Love Christian Slater, man.
Signal Starfleet fit. We have no idea the location Enterprise.
Sir?
You have a hearing problems, mister.
No, sir.
Did it for free. He loves Star Trek so much he wanted to be in the movie, and he did that role for free. Here's this little pet peeve annoyance. On the door you can clearly see a rectangular shape of sticky stuff that they used to put the boot on.
What is the problem?
Crewman Dax. But not Dax from DS9. Don't get confused.
If shoe fits, wear it.
You think he would have looked down by now, though, don't you? I forget where the production crew went to film this. It was wicked cold. But the actors were actually sweating to death almost in their furs. They were so well layered that they were like sweating, buckets of sweat, because they were just so warm, even though it was so cold there. There's that Asian chick again. The Excelsior and Grissom girl. And this part, they don't want the universal translator to be recognized. Doesn't really make sense to me. Why? Like, what is the universal translator like? Google Translator now, where you go to translate something and it comes out totally not the way you mean it. It just seems a little bit sketchy. They got to use books and you know. Talked about the Brilliant Patch, but that tiny little Vulcan. He didn't even notice that it was on Kirk's uniform. That's kind of a what the fuck moment. You would have noticed that. Here we go with the whole we don't want the universal translator recognized fiasco, which makes me scratch my head and go, what the hell? Duj vaj vanuk, Rin. Duj vaj vanuk, Rin.
He must respond personally. The universal translator will be recognized.
That goes back to Nicholas Meyer and his World War II submarine type deal, where you'd have to leaf through books and get the translation you need and sound legit.
What is your destination? Over.
The Klingons gotta know something's going on there. Don't catch any bugs. And there's the Chinese chick again. That's the same chick, I swear to God. She's a Kamaloid. Heard about you, shapeshifters. Thought you were mythical. Now, is she one of Odo's race? Is she one of the founders? And just a little error I'd like to point out here. See the way McCoy's laying like this, and they're rolling towards him this way, so they should go over his feet first. But of course they roll over him sideways. Just another one of those things. Vulcan mind rape. Still legal in the Federation. Makes you wonder if this was before or after the nude pictures where Leonard Nimoy got thoroughly pissed off and ripped them to shreds. Because he's really pissed right now, so... Just wondering. Just wondering. But apparently, yeah, mind rape is legal. Way to go, Vulcan. Okay, yeah.
Who else? Who else?
Were these flashback scenes of their faces added later? Because I don't remember these.
Where is the peace conference?
This is going to get a little bit of mind raping in there and make her suffer. Oh, she doesn't know. But anyway, were those scenes of their faces added later for this director's cut with a special collector's edition? This is the special collector's edition, so I don't recall their faces showing up on the previous ones that I've watched of this. Do you guys know? Let me know. And watch this, another error. Watch.
Thank you, Captain.
I'll rewind it again. Watch the monitors behind Kirk. Right
When does
here.
this conference start?
Sulu goes like this. Doesn't say anything, but according to my information today, and then it switches over. So another scene that was just poorly edited. That's a cool scene. The Enterprise coming straight at you. A good Enterprise scene. course, the Next Generation engine room. I got to admit, the Klingon, beautiful scene. I got to admit, him doing all the Shakespearean quotes are a bit much, but he, Christopher Plummer and William Shatner both have been at the Stratford Festival. I grew up in Stratford, and Christopher Lee has, or Christopher Plummer, sorry, has played there just a few years ago, actually. So it's neat that they're from the Shakespearean background, and that they've worked together, both him and Shatner, and a lot of the guest stars and alumni from Star Trek have appeared on the Shakespearean Theatre in Stratford, Ontario, Canada, which is where I'm from. I live in London now, but Stratford's only like 45 minutes from here. I go there all the time. Great place to visit, but you wouldn't want to live there. It's a great tourist town, so. But yeah, this battle scene is amazing because, as you all know, I love the Enterprise. I love any scenes with the Enterprise, and this movie's got some great Enterprise scenes. Of course, there's some ouchy ones too, where like torpedoes go right through the hull. Not fun.
All right. Now we've given him something else to shoot at. Aye, sir.
Who says that? Okay, we're giving someone else to shoot at. Aye, sir. Yay! Sherlock Holmes again. The game's afoot. Thank you, Nicholas Meyer. Crunch. Sealing off the blast doors. It's cool. This is very submarine-esque too. Seal off the sections that are damaged so we don't get flooding. Nicholas Meyer loves his submarine warfare. And it's the closest thing that... It's what space battle would be like, I believe. And here we go with the ouchie scene. Ouchie. This is all exciting. This is such a good part of the movie. There's the space battle, there's the attempted assassination. It's just, and the build up for it, the music is amazing. I love it. Lock and load, Jim. Lock and load. Fire. To be or not to be. Target that explosion and fire. Fire. Beautiful. Take that. Snap. And of course, they don't show this in most copies of this movie, but that assassin is Colonel West in disguise as a Klingon. This version, I do believe, shows it, so we will see that. Kirk is a fugitive. He's been tried by the Klingons, and he's supposed to be on a Klingon prison world, which he's escaped. So he's a fugitive right now. But he jumps on the president and says, "Kirk, Enterprise." I realize he's saving his life, but... Arrest yourself. How can you arrest yourself? That's really illogical, Spock. And Scotty. Go, Scotty! This is where we... This is not Klingon blood. And it's Lieutenant... It's, Worf that says it too, eh? Yeah, here we go. See, it's Colonel West. This whole part with Colonel West and him pointing out the with the laser pointer in the president's office, and then this part where they take the mask off, wasn't in the theatrical version. They didn't see Colonel West at all in the movie. All you saw was him get killed and land, and that was the end of that. So this special collector's edition has all this added footage. So
The undiscovered country.
now some of these alien mofos don't know how to clap. See? These guys. Oi. And this is sad because this is the last full movie with the original cast. Beautiful scene though here with them cruising into the sunset with the Excelsior.
Once again, we've saved civilization this week.
Once again.
The good news is they're not going to prosecute.
They might as well have prosecuted me. I felt like Lieutenant Valaris.
Arrest people
For having
having feelings.
It's a good thing, too. If they did, we'd all have to tag ourselves in.
Captain Kirk.
Captain Sulu. As much to the crew of the Enterprise, I owe you my thanks.
Nice to see you next. One more time, Captain Kirk.
There's Valtane.
Take care.
If you watch the Voyager episode Flashback, he died during that battle. It's cool where she takes off. So yeah, Valtane's supposed to be dead. Watch Voyager, watch the episode Flashback, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But apparently, he lives still.
This is goodbye.
This made me sad in the theater.
It's about time we got another stars.
I have orders from Starfleet Command. We're to put back to space dock immediately. To be decommissioned.
No. I'm just kidding. No, but it was pretty upsetting because I didn't think there'd be another one with them in it.
If I were human, I believe my response would be
Go to hell.
go to hell.
If I were human.
If I were human.
It's a very Data thing to say.
Say we kept it.
Second Star Wars. Straight on to Warren.
Straight on to war.
Sorry, I'm gonna leave this play because this is just an awesome ending to the last Star Trek movie with the original cast. The way that they have the Enterprise fly into the sunset, and then you have all of these signatures.
Stardate 9529.9. This is the final cruise of the Starship Enterprise under my command. This ship and her history will shortly become the care of another crew. To them and their posterity will we commit our future. They will continue the voyages we have begun and journey to all the undiscovered countries, boldly going where no man or no woman has gone.
So Kirk got the honor of changing it from where no man to no one has gone before. He got that distinction. And this last little flare with the signatures, the autographs, it's amazing. George Takei. Michelle Nichols. Walter Koenig. I've got his autograph. James Doohan. Got his autograph. In my technical manual. That's cool. DeForest Kelly. Leonard Nimoy. And of course, King Shit. William Shatner. I've got his autograph as well. A few of them. So you have it, guys. There's my review of Star Trek 6. Good great movie. A lot of little technical errors and little editing faux pas, but all in all, it's a great movie. One of the best Star Trek movies, especially for like action and ship battles. It's right up there. So there you have it. That's my review and my little nitpickiness. So I'd like you guys to leave comments in the bottom, anything I've made a mistake on, because I do that sometimes. When I'm doing these, I will sometimes make mistakes, and I apologize for those in the comments if I notice them. But if you guys point them out to me, I will acknowledge that and confirm that indeed you are correct. Or if there's anything else you want to talk about in this movie, anything you've noticed, anything that you wanted to discuss, just feel free to put it in the comments below. And please like, subscribe to my channel. Anyone who likes Star Trek, point them my way. The next one we're going to be doing is, of course, Star Trek Generations, which merges the Next Generation and the original series. And, of course, it's the death of Kirk, which is kind of sad. But we're going to be doing that one next. And look forward to seeing you guys very soon. I'll be doing another video later today. I finished up my Enterprise C. It's on the model table. I'm going to take you guys down there after this is done editing, and I'm going to get a video made up for that. So it's probably going to be 2 videos today. So thank you for tuning in, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. This is Captain Foley.